Hey guys, it's your boy Aijalonwallace, the Nomad Recruiter. I travel around the world, make placements for a living. If you're looking to start a recruitment agency, make sure you check out nomadrecruiters.com. I have an online course that teaches you everything you need to know. I also offer a free training if you want to download that, and also a free ebook if you want to check that out as well. I also have a few books on Amazon if you want the physical copy. But let's jump straight into it. So today we're going to be talking about a few things that I wish I knew before I got into recruitment. Okay, so we're going to start off with the pros and cons of being a recruiter. So the pros is, of course, you get to help so many people. It's a beautiful thing. You know, you get to help a lot of people and make good money. But the cons is people do not like recruiters, okay? Let's just say we are bill collectors to hiring managers, all right? You know, let's just use that analogy. So it's like, you know, every time we call a hiring manager up, they're like, oh, man, not another recruiter. It's so many recruiters out here. So many people are making business development calls these days, and people don't like to hear the sound of a recruiter on the other line. They just don't like it at the end of the day. So sometimes you have to, you have to be really good at selling yourself sometimes. Or you have to be creative and have a good strategy when it comes to doing business development and reaching out to people. So it's extremely important to understand that, it's a lot of negativity that comes with the job. Recruitment, I guess another point that I want to point out that I guess something that I wish I knew before I got started, but recruitment can be time consuming sometimes. It can take a long process. When you find a candidate for a job, it can range from 4 to 6 weeks. I've even had a job that went all the way to 2 months. It was like an 8-week interview process. It was so much because I believe this candidate was like an H-1B visa, so we had to wait for their visa to get approved for them to move over. But still, it can be a long journey and a long process, and there's a lot of risk that comes with that because there's so many recruiters out here reaching out to your candidate, and so many recruiters also trying to pitch to their client. And it can be a lengthy process. It can be risky because you got a lot of money on the line at the end of the day, and you don't know what's going to happen. So it can be time consuming. So I would strongly encourage you to develop a high level of patience if you are looking to get into the recruitment industry at the end of the day, because it can come with high stress levels. Now, one of the things I wish I knew before I got into recruitment was understanding commission. Now, I'm not going to make a whole video. I think the video would be too long to understand that, but there are a lot of different commission strategies and processes when you work with different recruitment agencies. So I worked for an in-house agency, and it had a very, mathematical commission process that I never understood. But, there are recruitment companies that pay anywhere from 30 to 50% commission. So just understand, do your research on what's going to be good payouts and commission for you before joining an agency. Some agencies are still paying 5 or 10% and paying you a salary, and I can't believe that because there's so many more out here that are paying 50, 40% these days. So make sure you look into that before you sign up with your first recruitment agency if you decide to go in-house. I cannot, stress that enough. Another pro about getting into recruitment is that you have the power to build your network. So you know the who's, everyone knows who you are. You have all these opportunities to hiring managers, to clients, sometimes high profile clients if you are working with people like Google, Facebook, or LinkedIn. So, it comes with a lot of special perks, and especially when you're out at a party or a get together, people want to be friends with the recruiter because, when people say, show me the money, they point to you. You're the person in the room that knows how to get that money for them. So people love having recruiters as friends. People love the network and opportunity that comes with it. So understand the power and, I guess the visibility that and recognition that's going to come with the job at the end of the day. So it's extremely important. I would say, another thing I wish I knew was cold calling, okay? And, when I started off, there are a lot of new strategies that you could go about doing business development these days. And I teach those strategies inside of my program at nomadrecruiters.com. But when I first started off working for a recruitment agency, I had to do cold calls, man. And I'm telling you, Ooh-wee. You got to get used to you got to get used to like getting hung up on, man, because there's going to be a lot of rejections. There's going to be a lot of no's. There's going to be a lot of voicemails. There's going to be a lot of maybe next time, or we're not working with you. You're not on our PSA. It's just and you got to get used to being motivated by that. You have to really program your mind to be motivated by the constant no's, 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 no's. And sometimes it can take 100 no's before you get your first yes from a client that's going to be willing to work with you, with your agency, or sign your terms. So the cold calling aspect can be a huge struggle. And sadly enough, there are still a lot of recruitment agencies out there that still does cold calling, and it's very traditional. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work, but it could just be hell. And if you're not someone that like being on the phone a lot throughout the day, I would just strongly advise you to understand what you're signing up for, before you become a recruiter. Now, another thing is negotiating. Negotiating has its pros and it has its cons, but let me give you an example of negotiating from a candidate and client standpoint. You may be in a situation in recruitment where you found somebody a job. They went through a 4-week round interview process. The client really loves them. The candidate loves the company, but the client is lowballing the candidate when it comes to the salary. And now you may have to go back and forth with the client to try to get this candidate the money that they want, or potentially the candidate is going to walk away from the job opportunity. So it struggles sometimes with the negotiation because some clients are too prideful. Some clients may not really have the money. And some candidates, sadly enough, it's only so much you can control throughout the process. And some candidates may get some ridiculous offers while they're going through interviews with your clients. So it's extremely important that you understand and master the art of negotiating when you are, working with your clients. And I may have to make a separate video about that because there's so much to talk about when it comes to negotiating with both candidates and clients. But it's extremely important that you master that. Being organized is very critical. And the reason I say that is because you're going to be talking to hundreds of candidates throughout the day. You're going to be working on a lot of jobs, so you're going to have a huge pipeline, and you want to make sure you have a database where you're able to find resumes, where you're able to find clients, names, and numbers. So it's extremely important that your organization skills get up to key, because you can miss out on some really huge opportunities if you're not structured or you're not organized. It's not to say that you're going to be this most organized person, the best organized person when you start the job, but it's extremely important that you learn how to be organized if you want to be a successful recruiter, because it's just going to be so much, so much going on, so many new positions, so many new candidates, so many new clients. You're not going to be able to keep up with it unless you have like potentially a personal assistant or something like that. But most newbies don't usually have that, so you got to get used to it at the end of the day. I think most important for me is understanding the culture of recruiting. And I think I didn't understand the difference. This is something I wish I knew as well. When you work for an in-house recruitment agency, it's more chill, it's more relaxed, it's more laid back. And when you work for an agency like a recruitment agency where it's all about money, it is very Wolf of Wall Street. It is a dog-eat-dog world, okay? And you need to understand what your personality fits the most. You may want in-house where it's relaxed, it's chill, you're being trained, it's not much pressure to be in the office 10 hours a day. You're not driven by sales and money, versus when you work for agency, on the outside, it's money, money, money. You're on a calls you're on the phone calls. The office is loud. People are talking to candidates. They're talking to clients. Everyone's trying to hit their deals. Everyone's competing against each other to be the best recruiter. So understand which side, in-house versus agency recruitment is very understand which one matches up to your personality. And I cannot stress this enough, guys. So look, if you like this video, I need you to hit that subscribe button. I need you to hit that like button to support the algorithm. I need you to help your boy grow if you love the content. I cannot wait to see you soon, and I appreciate you the support, guys. All right, thanks again.